Welcome to It's Pittsfield Tonight. Tonight, Season 1, Episode 9. This is a little different. Trying something new here with Steve, who many of you were introduced to Steve last on Episode 8. Even though Steve's been here for all the episodes on that side of the camera. All the guests know him, and anyway. So, Steve, I was looking at some stuff for us to talk about to open the show.
Cool.
Plus, we do have a great show. We've got...
Who do we have? Who do we have tonight?
Dashine Moore.
Oh, Dashine's a good guy.
Yep. And we're going to be talking about the Beat the Streets basketball tournament.
That was great last year.
This is his third one.
Good.
So, from what I've heard, from what he said to me, it's growing.
Yeah, I imagine
so
it is.
We'll talk about that. And Kalinowsky, the counselor. I think Karen's appeared on the show more than anybody.
Yeah.
So, and talking about your favorite thing that you can't stop talking about is bike lanes, and then just Pittsfield politics in general.
Pittsfield politics.
Because I know how much you love that.
Yeah, can't get enough of that.
And Easter's coming up. When does that happen?
Easter, pretty soon. Yeah, pretty soon.
Rabbit season.
Yes.
Can I go on my tirade about rabbits?
I wish you would. Why? What was the impetus of the rabbit and the Easter eggs?
Oh, this is my favorite story.
Oh, let me hear it.
Well, it's basically this. It's pagan holiday. Yeah. And it was so the gods would bless your children with fertility.
Eggs.
So eggs for the girls and rabbit for the boys.
Oh, makes sense.
And also that they'd be a good hunter and provider, but the rabbit had a dual significance.
I think I get it.
Yes. You know how rabbits are.
I think so.
So that was, when you give your kids eggs and rabbits.
Yeah, well, that's very interesting.
You're wishing them big litters.
Unless you live in China.
Yeah, so that's coming up. Bike lane on the ballot. No go, last council meeting, as you've seen. What do we got in the local publication here?
Anybody give a drink to a celebrity or anything?
Nope, nothing like that. How to tackle difficult conversations.
We're good at that.
Yeah, we're doing that right now.
Really difficult.
Designer picked for ballpark project.
That looks really good. And I read that story.
Oh, this is about Wacona.
Yeah, and I looked online, and they had artist drawings of what it's going to look like and stuff. It's going to look really cool. I just hope that this.
Now this is they're proposing a complete redo, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which we needed. That last show, which you were on.
Yeah.
And who was it? Nick Watroba talked about how 50 years ago, when they would take this thing apart during the winter, they would literally take the park apart and store it piece by piece.
There was some great baseball there. I was around when the Red Sox had their farm system here, and then the Cubbies.
I remember the Cubs and the
Mets. And I guess I haven't seen a game at the ballpark with the Suns, but I hear it's good ball, so might check it out this year.
Everyone speaks highly of it. It's a shame that with the history of baseball here, that we're not a bigger footprint on the baseball map.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like that could be a huge draw to Pittsfield, and we have this historic park.
Oh, it's a beautiful park, except for the Sun Field. They can't move the field, but that Sun Field is horrendous.
Yeah, I've always wondered why. I'm sure a lot of people have. Like, they didn't think about that in the beginning.
You would think it would be the first thing to come to mind.
Or was there a building or a mill or something there blocking the view?
I don't. Maybe it was flooded.
Yeah, it still is, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, they fixed that.
Well, when they pulled out the mill dam.
You know what? I didn't know that the Tahiti takeout closed.
Yes, now it's just dine-in only.
No, I mean...
it's closed, yeah. I don't know. I don't know that.
I thought I saw once again in the Eagle that Hudpuckers is going to go back.
Not Fuddruckers?
No. Well, they're not going to call it Bobby Hudpuckers.
Wait, there was a Hudpuckers.
Where the old... on E Street, where something is now
hangers.
Yeah, we're hangers now. But they're not going to call it Bobby Hudpuckers. They come up with a real original. They're going to call it Hudpuckers.
Now, Fuddruckers is big down south.
Is it?
but that's a chain.
I don't think this.
I don't know what Hud Puckers would be.
No, I think it's somebody that puckers Huds.
Yes. Well, food, beer, ballpark.
Yeah.
You know, hot dogs, cold beer.
And for those that you got that vegan place, so if you don't want the sausages, hot dogs, and beers,
I bet you they have something that would.
yeah, they probably do. Tofu.
I've invited her on the show, but she declined.
How come?
I think it was my monologue.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're doing this.
She said if you can get just a little bit funnier, I might consider it.
So you figured bring me on, right? Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
What else do we got? There's not a lot in this thing.
I can't believe there's 2 sections in the paper. When I was a kid, not only
Wait,
was
that's
there,
the whole paper?
yeah, not only was there 4 sections, there was 2 editions.
Well, what else did we see? We saw the. What did we see? Oh, interviews of our mayoral candidates on something.
God, on Planner Valente.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I can't talk about that.
But anyway, so we've seen the 2. So
Yeah.
I'll be talking to Karen about that and see how.
Yeah. Well, it would be nice. It would really be nice if we had a third option running for mayor, and not former lifelong Pittsfield politicians. It would be so good to see some new blood. I'm just so afraid that when it's time to vote, it's going to be.
I'm calling for 41% voter turnout. That won't change.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, probably the 2 candidates that we have, but we'll find out. We'll find out what.
There might be something else in the wings we know nothing about. It's a lot of time between now and the election.
It is, and it's going to occupy the whole summer. And I hope people do get involved. But
you definitely decided that.
Oh, for me?
Yeah, that you're out of this.
No, the only thing I'm running for is the bathroom right after we wrap up.
You got to beat me to it, but I'm fat and old. Chances are pretty good you're going to get there first.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Weather? You got a weather update for us?
Nice weather coming. Nice weather coming. Looks like spring. Get your rakes out. Get your lawn work done, or can the stuff to the kids and.
All right, and we hopefully got some new musical guests coming up we were talking about. So the next few shows, we're hoping to get some people on for that.
Yeah. I have a kazoo.
Yes.
I can come on and do kind of do like a Bob Dylan number, put a kazoo on and play the guitar.
I have a 1-string banjo.
Oh, it's a hit.
Almost mastered it.
It's a hit. Which string is it?
The big one. So we know it's going to be good.
That was a big string.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to cut to a word from one of our local sponsors, and then we'll get right into it. All right, welcome back, everyone. My first guest is he's not a lifelong Pittsfieldian, but close. He's been here from New Jersey since you were what?
4.
Yeah. He's been in Pittsfield ever since, though. Great guy, business owner on North Street. He owns Mr. Feet's, which is custom shoes and a bunch of cool clothing and stuff like that. Anything else I'm missing you carry there?
No, that's it.
All right.
Trade. We do trades. Art.
Okay. So Dashine Moore.
Hello.
So Dashine, thank you for taking the time to do this.
Absolutely.
Yep. You've been on the show, the older version,
Right.
a year or so ago.
This is nice. This is very nice.
Yeah, this was a big step up moving
Yes.
downtown. So we're neighbors downtown now.
Okay.
So Beat the Streets, which is a basketball tournament you started, was it 3 years ago now?
Yes.
All right, so we're getting ready to go into the 3rd season.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about that and when that starts this year.
All right. So we're looking to start again at July 2nd, like we do every year. It's just a program that I invented to keep kids, out of trouble. 3 years ago, it was a lot of violence going on, in the city of Pittsfield. and before we had programs, so I just thought to bring a basketball program back, and then it kept it down a little bit, I guess.
Now this is a bracketed tournament you started, right?
Yes.
And takes place at Dorothy Amos Park.
Yes.
July 2nd through how long does it go?
So it goes to July all the way to like the first or second week before school.
Okay.
So August something.
And how does that work? What are the age groups and the tiers?
So this year we're doing a little different. We're going to do co-ed. So we didn't have females last year or the year before. So we want to do something for them as well. But we're starting at the grades 3rd all the way to 12th.
Nice. And you started this alone?
Yes. But now I have more people to help me now, though.
I know last year when I stopped by, you had a good little squad behind you then. That was,
yeah.
And you could see it took a lot to organize this and to keep it going.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I had to reach out to more people, and more people actually reached out to me that wanted to help, and they want their kids to be involved. So it takes a lot off of me. Now I can get it all organized, and we'll do it right.
Now, how are you funding this?
It's mostly funded by people that are donating.
Okay.
Last year it was donated. I got the money from 18 Degrees and also the NAACP, and the water company on West Housatonic Street also donated.
Yep.
And then
it used to be Ice
Jack
River,
Quinn, and a lot of people came down there and donated waters and Gatorades and coolers.
Do you do shirts for the kids and everything?
Oh, absolutely. They get a whole uniform.
Nice. Okay, so how can people who want to help out then, because I know this year, and we're going to talk about that, you've expanded, it's growing.
Absolutely.
So you've added some new brackets, some new age groups. Now you have the girls coming in.
So I expect, last year and the year before, I would say they had about 100. This year I expect around 200.
Wow. You think it's doubled in size?
I think so. And I also have teams that come from Albany. It's like it's starting to really get connected with kids and other people wanting to be a part of the program.
Now, are your refs and everyone, are they volunteers also?
Absolutely.
That's awesome. All right. So again, though, so people who want to help out, whether they want to donate money or their time or resources, how can they get in touch with you to do that?
Well, for now, they can reach out to me on my Facebook, which is my name, Dashine Moore.
Okay.
Or they can come to the store at 549 North Street, and I'll explain to them how they can go about doing that.
Now, this obviously takes up a big chunk of your summer, time-wise.
Yeah. What do you want to know about the hours at the store? So
yeah, because sometimes it's been hard for me to catch up with you.
So I'm sorry for anyone that's been trying to come to the store. I'm just juggling a lot right now. But the summer hours, spring and summer hours, will be from 10 to 2. Okay.
And at the store, I don't know if I categorized it right. So what is all that you carry at Mr. Feet?
So I carry sneakers, clothing, art, wrestling men. That's about it for now.
The shoes seems like you get a lot of custom, unique stuff, though, right?
With the sneakers, I usually get sneakers early, or I get the sneakers that people want that they can't get.
Okay. And I know there was a big market for that, so there was a void there when you weren't open.
Yeah, I would say so. I think I covered the void for the most part.
Okay, so now you're back full
throttle. We're full throttle, Monday through Sunday. So
people can come up to the store, visit you there, and you can give them more information on how to be involved with the tournament?
Absolutely.
Okay, and the Waters place, Premium Waters.
Premium Waters, that's it. Yep. I'm sorry, Josh Wood.
But it used to be Ice Rivers.
Yeah, it
right?
used to be Ice River. I worked there.
So will they be helping out a little bit this year?
Absolutely. And Mike DeSico as well, too.
Okay.
Mike DeSico is a big part of the program.
And are there any positions or certain type of volunteers that you're looking for to fill anything right now?
Well, I'm looking for some kids, please, to come be commentators, and also to come to the store once a week to do a live commentary of what happened along the week and beat the streets, who's the top player, who had the most steals, and so and so.
Okay.
And any person that wants to volunteer to be a part, you're welcome. Because there's so many different brackets and kids that's going to be out there. I'm going to need so much help.
Now there's trophies and prizes and all that at the end?
Last year, Westside Legends donated the trophies, and they also donated like a big clock.
Okay. This is exciting. I mean, it's
I love
exciting
it. I
that it's
love it. I
grown
love
to
it.
what it has.
Yeah.
Because this was just a vision you had.
It was just a vision. Like, the way with that I came up in Pittsfield, basketball kept us out of trouble until it couldn't keep us out of trouble anymore. So why not give the kids a shot,
Absolutely. Now, does the entire tournament take place locally at Dorothy Amos?
At Dorothy Amos, yeah.
Okay.
So there's 3 courts over there, so we can have, if, on any given day, there could be 3 games going on.
And for the big finale, will there be a big production for that? You can try to do something.
So what we're gonna for the finale, just like last year, we'll have probably 2 teams that come from Albany and 2 teams that come from Springfield, hopefully this year, and then we'll mix them all together and we'll have it for the whole day.
Okay.
And there's also I have the 18 and up league, the money league. It's 8 players per team, $50 a slot. Come with your team. Win the whole tournament, I'll give you the proceeds from everyone else.
And how many teams are we going to have? Do you know roughly?
This year, like in the 18 and up league, or at least 5.
Okay.
And they'll be college kids,
Yeah.
kids that are about to go to college.
There were some serious players I saw there.
There was. I hope that they'll come back this year. But I know a lot of kids from different counties been asking me to come, like from Troy. So it's really going to be big this year. We got a few cameramen this year.
It was cool seeing people show up too. So
Yeah.
just people just to watch the
Right.
game. I thought that was because that's big for the kids to know that they're being cheered on.
They're on the
and-
stage,
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're on the stage.
It puts pressure on them, but good pressure, I think.
And it keeps them busy because right now you have, all right, so basketball season is over for the most part, Taconic won the state championships around,
Yes.
Good for them. My stepson is on that team. But they're going into AAU season. And after AAU, then they have beat the streets. And then they'll go back to school.
Okay.
You know what I
So
mean?
good timing.
So, yeah,
So you'll be busy all summer.
I will.
Well, definitely. I want to have you back with some of the kids then too.
All right, yeah, we'll bring some back, whoever you want, or whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'll be down there. I'll be taking some pictures and filming some stuff.
I need you down there.
Last year was fun and it was exciting. It was exciting to see how much bigger it was than the year before.
Right.
And I think this year is going to be, big. And it's a busy year for Pittsfield. I
Pittsfield-
see you
Pittsfield's
decided
getting better.
not to run for office. I tried to talk you into it.
I was going to run with you.
We were going to take over the city council.
One day, but we're doing good for the community right now, so that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
Other things could come later.
All right. Well, it's really good to see you. Again, one more time, how they can contact you just through your Facebook page.
They can call me they can get in touch with me on my Facebook, or they can also contact me on my IG. It's the same name. Or you can also come and see me at 549 North Street, Monday through Friday, 10 to 2.
And support local business. He's got some good stuff in there. He's got some good kicks. So definitely support local business and check out Mr. Feets on North Street. And we'll be right back in a minute. All right, welcome back. My next guest is, I believe, a lifelong Pittsfieldian.
Yes.
She is a lifelong Pittsfieldian, a former or retired Pittsfield police officer of 31 years, I believe, and a current at-large Pittsfield City Councilor. Please welcome to the show, Karen Kalinowsky.
Thanks, Mike.
Karen, thank you for coming on again for, I think this is your 8th or 9th visit.
I haven't kept account. I'll come on anytime.
It's up there though, but I'm glad that you do this. So this week yesterday was a busy week. A council meeting we were all waiting on, a lot of people. And it was about a vote of downtown Pittsfield. Basically, to sum it up, about a month and a half ago now, you put a petition forward that appeared to pass to put it on the ballot.
It did. It passed
to
5
remove
to 4.
the bike lanes from North Street and to relook at a better way of doing that. And then this past meeting, basically just to cut to it, they voted to undo that vote.
They rescinded it.
Yep.
Yes.
And leave it the way it is. So, and it wasn't that confusing of a thing until it actually got to the council and they talked about how confusing it was that it got confusing. So what happened? So you put this petition forward because...
Okay, I put the petition forward asking them to eliminate the bike lanes and just have it 2 lanes of traffic, well, 4 lanes of traffic plus turn lanes. So 2 lanes of traffic on each side plus the turn lanes. When we went up that day that I presented it, that it came up, Councilor Warren suggested that we revise it a little bit, and so we ended up taking bike lane out of it.
The wording.
The wording bike lane out. Then the council voted on accepting that question to be on the ballot, and it passed 5-4. So at that point, according to the city charter, it just gets sent back to the Attorney Pignata so he can do the summary. That's the answers to yes and no. If you vote yes, this is what you're voting yes to. If you vote no, this is what it's voting no to.
So just you know exactly how the wording it is going on the ballot.
Yes. So the next meeting, when that came back, is when everybody was saying that they didn't understand everything.
It seemed pretty cut and dry, but...
To me it did. I mean, to me, because, you know, granted, the city hasn't done it in years.
So one thing that caught my attention watching the meeting the other night was after it was rescinded, you spoke and you basically just said, look, when I campaigned for city council, this is something I heard from just about everyone. And I realized that this was a big issue and on the minds of a lot of the constituents in the city. And I asked all of you to get involved and to work with me on this, and nobody would. So here we are now. And now, all of a sudden, we're talking about it. And one of the things that I think it was Councilor White had mentioned, saying that we're elected to make these tough decisions. But the city council had no say in putting the bike lanes there, correct?
Yes, when they implemented the bike lanes, they didn't confer with anyone. Not the city council, not the store owners, not the police and fire department or the ambulance service. They just
So what
put it
tough
out there.
decision was it that he was referring to?
I don't
that he
know.
was okay.
I don't know. Probably to whether to keep it the way it is or not. I don't understand why they didn't want the residents to have a voice.
Knowing that not only is it unpopular,
Yes.
that they're already proposing head-in diagonal parking, so they're proposing making changes anyway. I know Councilor White, I hate to pick on him, but one of the things he also said was, we shouldn't rush this. Well, we're going on 3 years of trying to figure out how to paint bike lanes on a street. Well, would you consider that rushing it, or?
Well, no. I mean, when I came on in January that I got sworn in, I was right in Commissioner Morales' office talking to him about it.
Going back 2 years ago, right?
A little over a year ago,
Okay.
yes. So it was last January, not this one, but 2022.
Okay.
And he was happy with the way it was. I gave him my point of views of the unsafeness. I even gave him an idea of how to make it safer.
Does it confuse you that we've spent so much time on something as...
It confuses me that, you know, people will not work with other people. I've tried to sit down and talk. I've tried to work something out, and it's kind of like it's my way or no way. It's going to be my way. I'm not, you know, I'll listen to you, but because like I said, the commissioner was very respectful. We had long conversations, but it was, you know, wasn't going to give. This is he likes it the way it is.
Well, there was a lot of theater that went along with this, too. I think it was not this last meeting, but the meeting before our Ward 6 Councilor Dina Lampiazzi said, basically, you're voting, if you vote to do away with these bike lanes, you're voting for people to die, which I didn't quite get the dramatics with that.
Yes, it's unfortunately when people bring up a different area of the city and try to compare it to downtown. I mean, she brought up something that happened on West Street, which I know it's close to downtown, but it had nothing to do with the bike lanes.
Oh, the accident.
The accident
yes.
had nothing to do with that. And, you know, as I presented to them, there's been multiple accidents in that bike lane because of the design of the bike lane, because that's still a travel lane. And, you know, I've had the commissioner, and I've also had someone from the police department say, well, there's lines painted on there, but it's still a travel lane because Councilor Cavey brought it out at the meeting Tuesday night. He called the state, and they said, what's the problem? It already is 4 lanes and turn lanes, which backs me up when I try telling them it's unsafe because that's a travel lane. You know,
But ultimately, I mean, we see that there's not as many businesses as there was,
No.
even right prior to the bike lanes. And I think at the end of it all of us just want to see North Street as a easy place to go shop and be part of the community. I think a lot of people are bummed that I've talked to that Third Thursday doesn't take place on North Street anymore. There's some things like that. But why does it seem so difficult to see the city working together for something as simple as bike lanes or getting around downtown as a way that's accessible and easy for everyone?
I don't know. I don't know what their resistance is. I'm as stumped as you because I've tried to, you know, have conversations about lots of different things where I think we, you know, could work on in the city, and it just goes nowhere than a conversation.
So all this time on this, and it's rescinded, and
Yes.
that's it, right? So it's
No.
So what
No.
now?
Yesterday I went and sat down with the city clerk and Attorney Pignata because there can still be a citizens petition where the citizens getting so much signatures can actually ask for this get put on a ballot.
Now, in my personal view too on this, watching the couple last few meetings, there were a few people, not a lot, but enough. It doesn't take a lot to fill city council chambers of proponents for the bike lane that showed up. Was it discouraging to you at all that you've heard so much on the campaign trail running for office about the layout of North Street, but at the council meetings themselves, I don't see anybody there speaking up in favor of your petition or what you had on the table?
Yes, very, very discouraging to me. I know people have busy lives. Dan was the only one. He wasn't there last night. Tuesday night he hadn't realized there was a meeting because he did text me.
And who's that, Dan Mariglia?
Yes, he has spoken on, you know, again, for my petition and letting the voters make a decision about what they wanted up there. And it is. I don't think the voters realize that when they come out to these meetings to support what I'm bringing forth, what they wanted, that support helps me convince the council that, you know, this is not just me coming up with an idea, because basically that's what they think. They think it's just, this is my idea, I'm doing this. And it's
because
not.
you're anti-something
Yes.
or something.
Yes.
You know, I get that. Like I said, at the end of the day, how can we not all agree that we all want to see downtown flourish, and we want to see a layout that works?
Yes.
Something modern, unique. You know, that's my opinion on it.
And I have had no problem trying to work with people. Nobody wanted to work with me until the question got placed on the ballot. Then all of a sudden people want to, oh, well, yeah, we think, yeah, something should get done. Well, why'd you wait until I put it
think
on the
having it
ballot?
on the ballot definitely would have brought out a lot of voters.
I think so, too, because after Tuesday night meeting, I got contacted by quite a few people in regard to it.
So next week, everyone starts to pull papers.
Yes.
For re-election or for election. Will you be pulling papers for re-election?
I will be pulling papers. I haven't decided which ones.
Okay.
I'm still in contact with some people.
So possibly a run for mayor? Or?
Possibly a run for mayor. I really think we need change. Nothing against the other two that are running, but they're not seeing what I am seeing, what really needs to be done in the city. It's different to talk the talk, but you really got to walk the walk. I mean,
No, I hear you. And I know we're running out of time here, but there's so much we could talk about. But even at the last meeting when I saw the Springside house really being discussed, that was a big part of it, talking about money. No one brought up the fact that right on the other side of that house, on the other side of the hill, is a massive homeless encampment with tons of litter, people bathing in the brook there, human waste, needles, I mean, the whole deal. Kind of a bummer to me that wasn't even part of the discussion when we're talking about this valuable treasure, which is the Springside house, which it is. It's a historic property, but it's a shame that we don't look at the big picture. All these problems seem to tie into each other.
yeah, I mean, I didn't bring it out during the meeting. I did bring it out when I took a tour of the Springside house prior to even the finance meeting. Myself, Councilor Warren, and Councilor Cronick went with Mr. McGrath and toured the whole house. And it was brought up there, because they were trying to figure out what use could the house be. I said, well, maybe it could be a homeless shelter because you've got them living all right, not even 100 feet from us.
That's what I'm saying. It's sad that,
And, yeah.
So in the next week, when time comes and you pull papers, you will be pulling papers for something, though, right?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
you don't have to do it next week. I mean,
No,
that's just when
but-
it starts on Monday.
I would assume if you're going to, the sooner the better.
Yeah, I mean, people say that, but I think it depends on how you go out at your campaign. I'm a people person. I would be the one out there knocking on doors.
Well,
You
you'll
know,
have to let me
meeting
know
with
then.
people.
You'll
I
have
will.
to come back and let me know.
I will.
And
You can
there's
have me
always
for
a
a 10th
ton for
time.
us to talk about. Yes, well, or 20 or 30. That's fine, too. All right, well, Karen, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to do this. We're going to cut to one of our local sponsors real quick, and we'll be right back. I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's show. I want to give a big thank you to Dashine Moore from Beat the Streets. And of course, Dashine also owns Mr. Feats, which is located on North Street in between Car Hardware and Quick Fix Mobile Repair. Big thank you to at-large City Councilor Karen Kalinowsky for taking the time to come on and talk about this last council meeting and some of the things going on and what her plans are for the future. So I look forward to having Karen on again to talk more about that. And of course, big thank you to Steve Secord, my good friend who has been a big part of this here. And I'm always talking him into getting involved in some of this stuff. So big thank you to Steve for taking the time to do this. And again, I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's show. I'll catch you all next week.